Hello, everybody. I hope that you're doing well and that you enjoy this free, fun resource. This is something I've been wanting to share for a long time because it's one of my all-time favorite tools in my bag. And it's not this particular intervention, but it's this way of using visuals. And so what I'm going to show you is you can see my screen. This is Keynote, which is just the Apple version of PowerPoint. And sometimes I use Google Slides as well. So anywhere where you can do PowerPoint kind of stuff. I love making visuals in these programs because there's so many things you can do with them that are really engaging and really fun for kids. The one I want to send you now is also topically appropriate because it's about who's hatching in eggs for springtime. And there's a bunch of different really fun activities that go along with this that can support musical development. Mental health, I think, is a big one for kids right now. I think there's a lot of creativity that can go in this and a lot of questions and discussions that come out of it. But it's also just a lot of fun to do even with little kids because some of the pieces of the PowerPoint make it really fun. So I'm going to play so you can see this as if it were a regular slide. And what I usually do is when I'm doing telehealth, I just share my screen. So it looks exactly like this. You're experiencing what this telehealth intervention would look like. This song comes from, there's a book there. This is an old chant that I've heard before. I'm not even sure of the original person who created it or if there's any, actually if it's anonymous or if it's just kind of an old chant, but it's really fun and very simple. So who's that hatching? So very simple. You could speak this, you could sing it, whatever you feel comfortable with. Who's that hatching? Who's that hatching? Who's that hatching in the egg? And I always add some suspense of who's gonna hatch in this egg. It's a baby bird. I don't show the bird right away for a purpose. This is a great space if you're working on something like communication to elicit communication and just wait and see if there's any tweets or any kind of sound that a kid might make. Or this is a great point for discussion too, hanging on this, it's a baby bird. What do you think this bird looks like? Do you think it's a big bird, a little bird? Is it a baby bird with mama? What do they say to each other? This can open up so many avenues of discussion that are really supportive of kids right now and what they're experiencing. For example, I had a kid that said, oh, well, this bird's going to be alone because right now it can't be with its friends. And this just turned into a really great conversation and supportive dialogue about social isolation. So even simple things like this can really open lots of doors. But for the fun part, what I like to do is add really fun animations to these slides. I have a lot of kids who find this so visually stimulating, and I think that's also really important right now. I'm going to go through a couple more so you can see how they look, because we're staring at the same thing all the time right now. We're getting so much less visual stimulation than we normally do, which for some of our kids can be really great. Some kids who have different sensory processing disorders. And for some kids actually can be the other end. They need a lot more sensory stimulation. So things like this are really exciting. This one's my favorite, an alligator in a little ballerina costume. We get lots of laughs for this one. So this presentation, if you download it in Keynote, it's going to have all of these animations. PowerPoint, it has some of them, but some of PowerPoint's animations are a little bit different. But I encourage you to mess around, throw an image into a slide and animate it. It's such a small thing, but so much fun. So again, some ideas on how to use this. It's a chant, really adorable in itself, to talk about, even the whole earth science aspect of what's happening right now with eggs. But to build off of that, one of my favorite ways is to make egg shakers. And that's a really fun art project. The process of creating art with kids, especially like musical instruments, always gets so much conversation. And I feel like I learn so much more from kids during that process than I ever would. So that's one of my favorite ones. Another one is movement. How might this baby turtle start moving? Isn't that the cutest turtle ever? Is he kind of trying to swim out? What do you think he would look like? And getting kids to embody these different things. Another big piece right now, movement, so important for our bodies. So there's tons of ideas with this. Let me know if this is something that's helpful. If you're interested in learning more of the particulars of creating PowerPoints like this, shoot me an email, because I'm thinking about turning this into a CMTE, even just a short 1-hour CMTE that really cheap, something really quick. So let me know if that's something interesting, because I'm interested in doing that. This is one of my favorite ways to engage kids. So I hope you guys enjoy. You can use these for telehealth on your iPad once we get back to in-person sessions, any way that you'd like. So I hope that you enjoy them and stay safe and healthy.